We all know that obesity is bad for your health, but now there are fears that related conditions like diabetes, joint problems and sleep apnea could jump dramatically in the next 5 years, putting a burden not just on the health budget, but the broader economy as well. Dr. Anthony Leeds is a senior fellow at the University of Surrey and the head of the Cambridge Weight Loss Plan.
Well, there's been a suggestion that for Australia the numbers of people with overweight and obesity will rise quite considerably, and recent papers have suggested that the rate of increase in Australia is quite high. I don't think it's really necessary to draw comparison between different countries because essentially the problems for Australia are exactly the same as for the United Kingdom and other European countries. Prevalence is too high, causes a great deal of human suffering, but also causes enormous healthcare costs. We have rising costs for obesity treatment. We have rising costs for diabetes treatment. For example, with regard to hip replacement in the United Kingdom, we've seen a 29% increase in the costs of replacing people's knees. So we have extraordinarily rapidly rising healthcare costs. And if governments and health funding agencies don't address those fairly quickly, we're very soon going to get to the point where we're not going to be able to cope with the issue.
You're here to promote your own range of weight loss products, but quite aside from that, what things can people who are clinically obese do to most effectively lose weight?
Well, there are a whole range of options. As you know, if you're dealing with individuals who are minimally overweight, then a dietary intervention with a lifestyle change, with increase of physical activity may be very effective. Provided that's then maintained, they may well then be able to maintain weight. As you move up the spectrum where people become heavier, then, for example, we know that people who have type 2 diabetes need to lose probably 15 to 20 kilograms in order to get a beneficial effect on their metabolism. As you then move further up the scale, there are individuals who are super obese, who to gain benefit would need to be 60 kilograms in terms of weight loss. Those individuals would certainly need to use bariatric surgery, a gastric band or a bypass. So there's a spectrum, but what is lacking at the moment is how do we help the people in the middle of the range who need to lose 15 or 20 kilograms? And that's where formula diet, replacing the usual food intake with formula products for a relatively short period, perhaps of 8 to 12 weeks, would achieve that necessary 15 to 20 kilograms weight loss.
So you're tipping a hike in the amount of disease we see linked to obesity. How much will problems like sleep problems, diabetes and the like actually cost the economy?
Sleep apnea, other sleep-related problems, diabetes, osteoarthritis, all the other conditions associated with obesity are going to cost the healthcare budgets of all countries enormous amounts of money. However, there's a tendency to ignore the other budgets outside that, including social care costs. So let me take an example of the very large trial that we've recently done in Copenhagen, where a lot of the individuals were elderly people with knee osteoarthritis isolated in their homes. By losing weight, they're able to get out, cycle around Copenhagen, play with their grandchildren, and their whole quality of life and healthcare costs are reduced. Now, you can see that in other areas. And so I think what we would be saying is that by achieving effective weight loss and effective weight maintenance, you will see savings in other budgets outside the healthcare budget.
Dr. Anthony Leeds, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.